Welcome to the Multidimensional Realities podcast, your portal to cosmic insights and soul liberation. I'm your host, Ebony Shalom, interdimensional experiencer, divine channel, and quantum energy specialist. This is no ordinary podcast. It's an experience that has the potential to transform your reality as you know it. Together we explore divine insights and bring light to the collective consciousness. Are you ready to enter the void? Being mindful of our words. Being mindful of the words that we speak and the things that we say. Do we really need to say them? And the energy that it's backed with. Right. So when we exchange energy in any given moment, and I've done a post a little while ago about this, actually. I could sit here and be like, oh, you look amazing. Or, sure, I'll help you with that. And inside of me, I'm like, oh my God, like totally not feeling what I'm displaying. People that are attuned to their own emotions and can read energy or sense energy will know that you're talking crap. But they'll go along with it anyway to see how far you go with whatever. And if they're not totally honest with themselves, they may even just continue on. What I'm actually being shown here is that true expression of self and how we feel, how we truly feel is a problem here on Earth. It's an issue for people to actually express exactly what they're feeling. So sometimes we don't actually need to respond. We can just say nothing instead of feeding into like the talk that is happening. And if you don't feel like doing something, like to me, it's, I don't know, like this seems a little obvious to me. If you don't feel like doing something, or if you don't want to go somewhere, if you don't feel like speaking or being around people, then just don't. If they've got a problem, then let them deal with it. Just feel like lots of people are talking crap. And if you want to stay in the lower vibrational realm, again, this is probably not for you, this post, but the message that's coming through, be honest with yourself. Express like what is in your heart and let other people deal with their own shit. Because you're doing it to keep the peace, if you're doing it because you don't like confrontation, if you're doing it to make other people happy, or maybe you have a need to feel wanted, like why are you doing it to start with? Why are you sacrificing your own self and your time and energy for the sake of somebody else at the expense of yourself? So I'm not talking about like doing things when you genuinely have the time and the energy to assist others. Like that, that's a given. We're human. We like to assist others. But when you're overwhelmed and you keep giving, or you keep talking crap and not actually saying how you really feel or how you want to express yourself, you're just hurting yourself. And that doesn't make sense to me. So we're just being asked to be mindful of the things that we're expressing through our vocabulary. And that could even be how we're speaking to ourselves as well. Because how we internalize our voice and how we speak to ourselves, it sets a standard for how others will treat us and talk to us as well. And even though you may not think that it does, it does. The energy behind it will slowly pull you down. So you might be somebody that actually has very healthy, positive self-talk, and you're around people that are quite pessimistic or negative, and that's going to affect you. So looking at all the different ways that we exchange energy through our expressions and being mindful of what is influencing us from the outer world and what is influencing us in our inner world that we're putting into the outer world through our voice. Okay. Yeah, because the communication is very low vibrational. Yelling. So I see someone yelling. So the yelling with the anger or the frustration behind it. This is also something that is causing loops and a hook in that lower vibration. And so, look, I know myself, like you'll hear me yelling at my children going, have you cleaned up that room yet? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we all do it. But I guess the message here is, how much are we expressing in anger, and why are we expressing in anger? Because if we're expressing in anger and we're finding ourselves doing that, that is because we have suppressed energies and we're not actually expressing our truths. And so we're bottling things up and then getting to a point where it's like, ah. And if we continue to do that, bottle things up and get into the habit of just yelling, then that becomes like a loop in itself, right? Where we just stay in that stress, and that is not good for your heart. That is not good for your mind. It's not good for your soul. It's not good for your throat chakra. Okay, so learning to express how you feel and not bottling things up. That all ties back in, doesn't it? So yeah, that's going to allow you to shift into a high vibration and actually communicate more effectively. And if people genuinely can't hear what you're saying, then we go back to what was being said last week or the week before about maybe finding other people to express your true self to. Because if you're spending most of your time yelling and screaming and not being heard and feeling like you can't express yourself, and you want something different, like peace, then maybe have a look at your environment. Maybe look at the people that you're hanging around with, and you have to be honest with yourself and ask, is this best for my soul? I hope that helps. Moving into our heart. Subscribe, share, and become part of our cosmic community.